Hi, my name is Femi Olaya. I wear different hats on so many projects. I'm a worship leader, worship minister, teacher of the word, pastor. I am also a producer. I have the rare privilege on this project to be the producer for a particular debut worship album for a particular artist, and she's none other than Olive Esuturie. Drum roll! Pa, ba, da.
Hi, so like Femi said, my name is Oliver Esuturie as an artist. My full name, if you really want to know, is Bimisola Oladuni Esuturie. Um, so kind of like Femi, I also wear different hats. I'm a wife, a mom, I run my own business, I'm a worship leader, and I decided to take the bold step of obedience and also just fulfill a call that's been on my heart for a long time and going to worship ministry, starting with this debut album, like Femi was talking about. And it has been a journey. So I'll let Femi talk about that.
Yeah, well, what a journey it is. So many times, here's the deal. The journey began in 2014, June 10 to be precise. I remember I was walking into church for rehearsal in Nigeria, Abuja to be precise. I was walking into church and then I heard my phone, my phone just rang and I picked up the phone and it was a call from her. And I remember just before then, I hadn't seen or heard anything about her for like 7 years. The last we saw before then was
2007.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
my mom's funeral.
7 years ago.
Yeah.
And so we had a lot of catching up to do. And then she shared the vision of the album project with me, what God had put in her heart, and what God wanted her to do. And yeah, I just connected with it. I plugged in and I said, look, we're going to do it. We're going to do this together, and that was how the project started. Interestingly, this is June 2019, exactly about 5 years. 5 years, y'all. Five, number of grace. Five, right? And yes, we have seen God's grace on this project. It's been God's grace all the way. Little did we know, what we were bargaining for when, she decided to follow God and decided to ask me to come along.
Many times we used to say, all we did was just say yes to God. We didn't ask for all these problems.
And it's been a lot, but we're here.
Yeah.
The project is winding up. We're at the final stages of mixing and mastering. The album is about to, be launched very soon, and we're just excited about God's faithfulness.
Yeah.
God's power has been tremendous. The things we have gone through, the journey in itself is part of what we wanted to share with you. Just to encourage someone out there, God has given you a vision and a dream. Don't sit on it. Start. Just start. Do it. I believe God strongly that this will encourage you to find the right people to connect with the dream that God has put in your heart. And once you do that, just start. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be challenging. There's going to be some different challenges.
Yeah.
But just know at the back of your mind that God will show up, and at the end you will be able to say that because truly God has been faithful.
Yeah.
You want to tell us a little bit about that journey?
So the journey. So after I called in June 2014, and we were like, it was gonna be quick. In my head, it was gonna be done by June 15, and the album was gonna be out. And then I
June 2015.
2015 was gonna be done by June 2015. That's what I thought in my head, right? I gave it to him 14. My next year will be done. Everything will be out. And then I kind of sent him very rough, extremely rough versions of the song.
I'll tell you how rough they are in a moment.
Really rough versions of the songs, and you'll send them to him by email. And then I think within a couple of weeks, he had brought back one of them, celebrated, and I was like super excited. And within, we kind of rounded up going back and forth on the backing track of that. I think by the end of the year, we kind of started talking about the backing tracks of 2 or 3 of them. And then comes June 15, it was Easter.
2015.
Um, I had gone to sing at a concert in another town. At this point, we just left England. We're now living in Canada. And I've gone to lead worship at a concert in Regina, in Saskatchewan. So I led worship, but I was really struggling with my high notes, right? And I was like, I don't know what's going on. So whatever. I led worship at this concert, and by the time I came back home, I went to rehearsals. I led praise and worship in church the next day. After that, I couldn't speak, and then the next Sunday, I had to come again, Saturday worship. But at that time, I could no longer even hold my low notes, and I was like, something's really wrong. I'll go see a doctor. So I went to see my doctor, and she sent me to go see an ear, nose, and throat specialist. And by the time it all came down, I had like nodes on my vocal cords, and he shut me down from singing. Like, you can't sing, you can't speak. I can't talk to someone unless I can touch them. And I had 2 exciting boys at that time, right? So, and I talk for a living. So it was like tough. And then, so I was off, so it could be off for a whole year, trying to let the vocal cords heal themselves naturally. It was like, I don't want to do surgery, I just want them to heal. So I couldn't sing, I couldn't speak unless I could touch someone, and I was off singing for a year. So that kind of puts everything on the project on the back. Now, while that was happening, back in Nigeria on Femi's side, so Femi, you tell us about that, sir.
Yeah, while she was going through what she was going through, my wife and I were having, we were going through some stuff too. 2015, my wife was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and it was a very trying time for us. Um, I remember at that time, at some point we had to fly out of Nigeria so that she could get some treatment in the United Kingdom. So we went to the United Kingdom so that she could be treated. She had some multiple surgeries. She had chemotherapy. 2016, she was declared cancer-free. January 2016, she was declared cancer-free. We came back to Nigeria, and then for some reason, there was a reoccurrence again, and this time that was in 2017. We had to then go over to India for her to receive some more surgeries and chemotherapy treatment and all of that. So from 2015 all the way to 2018, she passed on December 2018. It was quite a trying time for me, but somehow I found, that this project, God was using this project as a way of just helping me through what I was going through, because through it all, at some point, I remember I gave her a call and I said, look, this is what I'm going through, and because of all of this, I think I don't want to delay your project any further. I think you should find another producer who would do an excellent job. There were so many of them that I knew, and I could introduce them to the project. And she said to me, you know what, if it's going to take us waiting, we will wait, because when I prayed, God spoke to me about you producing this project, and that's exactly what's going to happen. You're going to produce this project. If we have to wait for things to, settle down, so be it, But all through, she didn't give up on the project. God gave me grace to find the time to work on the project as we went on.
Yeah.
And that in itself helped me go through what I was going through, because I saw God's hand as as in doing the production, and that helped me a lot. And so it was a journey. It was quite a journey from 2015 to 2018. But yes, we did make progress on the songs.
We did.
Yeah,
Because in 2016, when you came, just before you left England, And before I had to go in for vocal surgery, we actually recorded one of the songs.
Yeah, I remember.
So we had gone into studio, recorded one of the songs at that time, literally the day before I went for vocal surgery. And then we came back from vocal surgery and I had to wait another year for my voice to heal enough for me to start to sing, which took us into 2017. And then 2017, like immediately my voice was healed a little bit. We did another recording. I think at that time you were now in India.
Yeah, correct.
So we did another set of songs back then in India. And by we did quite a bit of songs in 2017. We kind of got ourselves together in between India and going back to Nigeria. We did quite a lot of recording. 2018 came, there was still just so much going on. I just understanding where Femi was with Funke at that time. I didn't want to push anything. But I just woke up this day 2018 and I said, I'm done. I'm releasing something this year. I don't care what the devil has thrown our way. I don't care what life has thrown our way. We're going to release something this year. And that was like March. And within like 3 weeks, we literally pushed a single out, Celebrate. And it was just awesome to see that it doesn't, the Bible calls him Alpha and Omega, beginning and the end. And sometimes we forget that he's Alpha, he's Omega, but there is a journey that we have to go through and to see how God can carry us through our journey. And his word will always come to pass. He said the vision, wait for it, though it may tarry, it will surely come. So to sit here today and know that the vision is surely coming, it's finished, we've done literally all the recording and mixing. Yes, we've gone through so many things. Yes, Funke has gone to be with the Lord, but what we're here, we're still celebrating God's faithfulness. We're still able to celebrate his mercy and the fact that he speaks a word and he brings it to pass. It may not be the way we want it to be, but he still brings it to pass. So that's been the journey of 5 years to produce at home with you. 5 years, 3 countries, and it's done. So tell us a little bit about At Home with You. I'll let you start.
Yeah, well, first and foremost, I would say that working as a producer, this has been one of the most transcontinental projects I have found myself on. Because again, like we said, production spanned across different countries and different continents. And with each continent and each country, God provided, grace not only to do the creative work, but also sometimes the right people. Connecting with the right people who will then help to bring the vision to pass. And that's one of the things that he has been. So when she told me about the theme and that what she wanted the theme of the album in the place of prayer, I believe God birthed the theme in her heart, which was At Home with You. That for me, that settled with me because I guess for so many of us, we've learned to do church, we've learned to do religion, and we have not yet learned the principle of making the presence of God our home.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that's really what this album is all about. Each of the songs just expressing the fact that, the presence of God is really where home is, and they say home is where your heart is. So if you understand that the presence of God is where your heart is, then the presence of God should be home for you. Home is that place where you shut yourself out from the noise, from literally the pressures of the world and everything, and you just sit at the master's feet. And for me, that resonated very well with me because I know the challenges I've been through, and I know that it's been the presence of God, just understanding that God is there with me and understanding that the presence of God is my home. Has actually helped me through my own personal journey. And so when she came and said the title of the album theme or title is going to be At Home with You, that sat well with me. And if you look at the songs, there are about 9 songs, 9 tracks in terms of songs. There's a poem in there, and there's an overture in there as well. So total tracks is about 11.
Spoken word.
Spoken word. Thank you. You know, total tracks is like about 11. Yeah, but through each song kind of like tries to express the fact that, you know, the focus is literally on God. This is one album that you're not going to get the focus or the center of attraction being anything else apart from, you know, the creator of the heaven and earth himself. And and I think for me the entire concept was just about, you know, being able to bring the believer to practice the presence of God to the point where he or she becomes comfortable and feels at home in God's presence. And that should not necessarily be in church.
You know, so just following on from that, and what that kind of at home with you means for me. So for me, comes from a perspective of, you know, being at home in God's presence where we are. And for me, it really is being at home in His throne, being comfortable in His presence, more in a heavenly sphere, where I can shut down what is going on around me and just lose myself in His presence, in His majesty, in His glory, in His awesomeness, in His wisdom. And from His throne, receive the grace, the mercy, the healing, the salvation, deliverance, whatever it is that I need, because I can connect and take myself to a different level beyond whatever is happening, you know, around me. And that was really what it meant for me. Almost like transcending the physical of what my situation is, even if it was in a place of worship. Because usually when I lead worship, my mind is, you know, when the Bible says set your hearts on things that are above where Christ is. Right. Literally when I'm in worship, I'm not just thinking about who is there. My mind is literally set on the King who is above, that I'm leading people to come up higher with me. And that's kind of what I wanted the album to do. Take us up higher and transcend, you know, whatever is happening in our life, in our time, and just take us into His presence, and we can be at home, you know, in His power, at home in His glory, and see the magnificence of God, what God can do, you know, in our lives. So
I think that we live in a day and a time, because everything is so fast these days. Having a worship album project is not what readily comes even to Christians these days. You know, that's almost like an art we have lost. And we're hoping that this project, God will use this project to reignite believers back to the place where He's actually called us to be. In John chapter 4, Jesus was saying, you know, the Father is still seeking. And that's one thing, God hasn't stopped seeking. And it's our hope that as you know, find this album and listen to the songs, that you will be drawn into the place of His presence. That's entirely what this project is about. We've gone through what we've gone through in our journey, but ultimately we're giving glory to God now, because that's the ultimate, that God will still find pleasure in not only in who we have become, but in what has come from us. And I think that that's entirely what this project is about. Would encourage you to go out there, get it. It's going to be in all the platforms. Look for it. It's titled At Home With You, with Olive Esuturie.
I wanted to talk about some of the songs. He did an awesome work on the songs, bro. Talk about the songs.
Well, like I said, it's a transcontinental album. And most of the time, and here's the deal, most of the time people have thought, oh, because it's worship, it's got to be slow and draggy. And worship is not about singing slow tempo choruses, by the way. We'll talk about that somewhere else. We'll talk about what worship is and what it's not. But the entire album consists of just different songs. Celebrate is a fusion of some island tune with some funk, you know, background, and then we've got Oh I Praise You Lord, which we call the song of accents, by the way. When the concept God gave us with that song is, the Israelites, as they go up to Jerusalem, they actually pick a song, which is called the Song of Ascent, and you see that in the book of Psalms, by the way. And as they go up the mountain, of the Lord, they actually sing that song, and they climb each step higher. The song goes, in a different direction. We have a total of about 9 songs, actual songs. We've got Celebrate, it's a fusion of funk and some island tune. We've got I Come to Love You, which has got some sound design in there.
I love that
as well. We've got You Are God, which is very orchestral in nature. We've got Highly Exalted. We've got, Most High, which is, a fusion of rock. And I mean, you just have different genres and different expressions. And at your throne, very orchestral. I think you should look out for the album. I think you should look out for the songs of the album. I think it expresses the journey of being at home with God, and that's so watch out for it. It's hitting your screens coming soon. This has been a great time talking about this album project. Once again, my name is Femi Olaya, and this has been Olive Esuturie.
God bless you. Thank you.
Catch you later. Love ya.